information systems, and we have some wonderful faculty here from BCC to tell you all about it. So I will just introduce myself. My name is Erica Levy. I work in the admissions office as the Assistant Director of Recruitment. So we will be going over some admissions materials here too. So that will happen at the end. If you have any questions about your application, we can get those answered. I'm joined here with my colleague in admissions, Natalie Gil-Crotty. She will be also answering any questions that come up in the chat. So while you will remain muted for the presentation, definitely use the chat feature while you're here to ask any questions that you have, and we'll make sure that we get them answered, and we'll also be sharing some helpful links throughout the presentation. So without further ado, I would like to just turn it over to Professor Saidi, that's in our cybersecurity and networking program, to get started tonight. Okay, so the floor is yours. You are muted, Professor.
All right, so welcome. My name is Rashid Zaidi. I am the Director of Cybersecurity Program from the Department of Engineering, Physics, and Technology. So I have a little bit introduction about the cybersecurity program. So cybersecurity program, I just give a little bit of introduction because some people are new and they don't know about what cybersecurity is. Basically, cybersecurity is all about the protection of computer systems and also the protection of any damage to the hardware or the software or information or even the services. So if you can see the cybersecurity, that its scope is so large that you have to know all about the hardware, you have to know about the software, you have to know about the networking, you have to know about the services and the program that they control computers, and you have to know about the different operating systems. So that's a big field. So once we design this field, we keep in mind all of these things that you have to know about the networking, hardware, software, and how to protect the computer. So once we design the program, if you look at the program, we have everything included in our program. So the basic goals, if you look at the program, that of course, the main goal is you have to know the essential techniques to identify the security issues within a given network and how to secure the network from cyber threats. So that's the main goal of our program. This is excuse me. And other than that, we also provide opportunity to obtain industrial certifications. So if you look at our program, basically our major courses, they're like about 9 or 10 courses. You can get like more than 6 certificates. And these certificates are industrial certificates, and they range from the lower level, for example, A+ or Network Plus, but they can go all the way from Security Plus, and even my favorite is ethical hacker certified ethical hacker certificate. And if you just look into that, and even if you get this type of certificate, that if you have a certified ethical hacker, and if you just Google it, I mean, their salary, you can look at the salary structure, that how you're going to get it. So these type of certificates are included in our program, and we get all the grants. I mean, we get a grant from Capital One Foundation. They help us to get students all the vouchers for you. We provide free training for these certificates, and we give them vouchers to sit for the exam to get a free chance to get the certificates. And also we provide career counseling and also exploration of other cybersecurity fields. And also we provide guidance and transfer opportunities. So it's not like you're just do 2 years, you are just to, you can go for bachelor's degree after this. So we have an articulation agreement with New York City College of Technology. So if you get 2 years from here, if you want to explore your knowledge further, you can join them seamlessly with the New York City College of Technology. And also Mercy College is also in progress, and it's almost there. And because we were doing all this before pandemic, and then it's many of these things just stop. But you have a lot of opportunities to move to four-year colleges after doing your 2 years degree from the Bronx Community College. Now, just look at the different courses, major courses that cybersecurity you're gonna look into. So the first course that you're gonna see in the first semester, there are two courses you can get from this first semester. First is the Introduction to the Cybersecurity. Now this course will give you just a overall picture of cybersecurity, that what is a cybersecurity program is, and what are the different things you're gonna look into, you expect from in our program, and what basic definitions and simple labs, you're gonna go over that. And one thing about all these courses, that they have a lab component. All of these courses, there is not a single course that don't have a lab component with that. And we emphasize more on the lab because this is where you get the practical knowledge. And from that purpose, we have a state-of-the-art lab in our dedicated in our department, and it has all the state-of-the-art and industrial instruments and devices that you need. And CSN 105 is a computer hardware and software. So as I said, that you have to know about the computer hardware, software, networking. So we have included everything in our program. So you, after the introduction, you get computer hardware and software, this course. And if you have a valid A+ certificate already, we can waive that course for you. So you don't have to take this course, and we will grant you 3 credits if you have A+ certificate. If you don't have an A+ certificate, you just take this course and you take part in our boot camp, in the summer camp, or anytime you said, okay, I'm ready to sit for the exam, and we provide usually a free voucher as far as we have the grant available. And also in the second semester, you can go for CSN 110, CSN 120, 30. This is usually, these courses are the networking fundamentals. So these courses will give you the insights at what a network is, how you can build your network, how you can protect a network, the switches, the routers, and how you can program the switches and the routers. And CSN 110, 120, these are the 2 courses that if you do them together, if you have, you can sit for the CCNA. CCNA is a higher level of networking certificate from Cisco. And, but if you even just take CSN 110, it can be granted towards Network Plus. So if you already have a Network Plus certificate, we can grant you 3 credits for CSN 110. So you don't have to take a CSN 110 if some people, they already have a Network Plus certificate. So CSN 110, 120, both of them, they will give you another certificate. And then after that, CSN 130 is about the operating system. So you have to learn the operating system, because everything in cybersecurity, you can go from hardware to software and networking. So CSN 130 is usually about the Microsoft operating system, but CSN 132 is about Linux operating system. So we cover both operating system, Windows operating system, and also the Linux operating systems. And Linux operating system, you can also, if you have a Linux Plus certificate, we can waive that course for you. And if you don't have a certificate after taking this course, you can practice, and you can, once you are ready, or you take part in our boot camp in the summer, we can give you the voucher to sit for that exam. And all this network scripting, this is a higher level of the same thing, Linux operating system. CSN 150 cybersecurity is basically about the different techniques we take to secure a network, and different encryption models and decryption models you learn in this course. And this course is a 4 credit, and it's a 6 hours course. So 3 hours is the lecture and 3 hours is lab. And the one thing in this course is that we get a grant from US Department of Education, and from there we get the advanced labs from a specific company, InfoSec Learning, And their labs, basically, they're directly related to the Security Plus certificate. So all the labs at the moment, they are available free for the students. And once they go over all the labs, it's a part of their course also. But after they complete the course, they can go for the Security Plus certificate. CSN 160, as I told you, that this is one of the most popular courses. This is ethical hacking and network penetration testing. And this course is also the lab, we get it from the US Department of Education grant. And these labs are also hand-to-hand goes with the EC Council Certified Ethical Hacker certificate. So if you take this course and you go over the labs, you can sit for this CEH certificate. So I think I will recommend at least this type of certificate, Security Plus and this certificate. If you have these two certificates, then you are good to go to the market right away. And I see at the moment, we have a large number of students that are already getting paid internships. I think more than 30 students at the moment, I see that they are already getting internships, and many of them, they get a job. CSN 170 is internet and cloud computing. So all the virtualization models, we discuss in that. Basically, if you look at there are two basic models that we use in the market. That's one is the Amazon system and one is the Microsoft system, virtualization. But in this course, we try to make it vendor neutral so that students get all the model. And then after that, they can go for any Microsoft Azure system or Amazon AWS system. They can get the certificate after this course. And finally, they go for the project. So anything you learn throughout your network, at the last moment, you get some like a project. So this project basically help you make a good profile for your CV, that you take a project and you complete it by looking at all the knowledge that you get it from all 4 semesters. So for the semester by semester wise, you can see, I'm not going to spend much time there. I know that we have one more presentation. But basically, semester by semester, mostly they are divided into the courses that I told you, but you also have to take some courses. For example, English, you have to take some mathematics, you have to take physics, you have to take, so all of these courses, they combine, and we have a pattern here that you can, if you follow the pattern, you can easily complete your degree within 2 years. But if some of you already have some certificates, you can complete maybe before 2 years. And I know one student, I talked to him like a couple of weeks ago, he already has few certificates. So I said that, okay, you can complete your degree in 1.5 years because the type of certificate you have, many of the courses can be waived. So at the moment, we can waive up to 12 credits of certificates. So if we give you 12 credits ahead, of course, you can, complete your degree much earlier. This degree is 60 credits. So this is a sample second semester program. Physics 11 you take, communication 11, CSN 110 and 130 that I told you about the networking. And after that, the third semester usually is recommended you take all the major courses, and also in the final semester, you take physics, the second course of physics, and also you complete the rest of your remaining courses. Now, the transfer opportunities for your colleges. So BCC has already articulation agreement with the New York City College of Technology, Brooklyn, and with the Mercy College is already in the process. So you can seamlessly transfer all your 60 credits with these colleges. Now the job prospects. So ISC is a global information security workforce study. And in 2019, the latest report, it says that worldwide, we need 145% more trained cybersecurity. This is about the worldwide. And in the US alone, we need about 500,000 jobs. 500,000 jobs are open now for the cybersecurity professionals. So it means that the demand is up about 62% more people we need in the cybersecurity field. So that's a lot of jobs available. And also the US Bureau of Labor Statistics say that the employment opportunities, they're gonna grow as much as 37% by 2022. The salary can range. It depends also your profile, the courses, the certificates you already get from the degree. But if we take the data from like different Glassdoor, Monster, and other databases, and this is the particular salary range. You can look into that, because some people, they're interested that, okay, what is the salary range? So this is the by the research, by the data that we get from the different Glassdoor and other organizations, this is the typical salary range you can look into. Of course, it also depends on your expertise and your certificates. So if you have any question, this is my email here, sayed.zaidi@bcc.cuny.edu. I'm the director of the program. Any question you have, you can just send me email. And also, if you have any questions, you can ask at the, I know there's another presentation, but you can ask me questions at the end if you have any questions about the program. But I can recommend this program. Is a very good program. And the equipment that you get from the grants, this program got like about 3 different types of grants, and US Department of Education grant, this is the grant that we get, these type of equipment that I don't know, I didn't see any community college to my knowledge that have this type of equipment that we already get it from this program. So, you know, I recommend this program, and I think this is at the moment, this is a very popular program. So if any questions, you can just, you know, send me email or ask me at the end. Either, if not in this platform, you're free to send me an email anytime, and I will be happy to help you and answer your questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Professor. We'll definitely have time for questions at the end, and I see the chat is very active, and Professor Wang has been in there answering a lot of questions, so thank you, and Natalie as well. But we'll turn it over to our next presenter, Professor Wang, for Computer Information Systems, and then we will go over some admissions information as well, and then plenty of time for Q&A. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. Let me share my screen. Would you allow me to share my screen?
You should have the option now.
Okay, great. Can you see it now?
Yes, looks good.
All right, great. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Neil Huang. I teach in our Business and Information Systems department. Our department offers a number of programs, one of which is Computer and Information Systems, which I'm very excited to talk to you about. Let me talk to you a little bit about what this field is and our curriculum. So the Computer Information Systems, or CIS, it is more of an applied sort of a subject. And what I mean by that is we are interested in applying not only the traditional sort of the established methods in computer science and technology, but also, more importantly, the emerging technologies that you may have heard about in the media, such as big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, to solve business problems. So our main goal is business, but we use a technology as a main tool to address the various strategic and operational issues that business organizations face on a daily basis. So rather than focusing on sort of finding that next technology or studying sort of the key drivers of what moves these fields forward, we are, as a field, more interested in sort of how can we best use these technologies that we have currently and the potential technologies that are on the horizon into practical business settings. Okay, so that's what separates CIS from the traditional fields like computer science or computer engineering that we have in other departments. So if you look at our curriculum, the link is posted in the chat. The curriculum is not only focused on sort of the computer science and engineering part of it, but also we have a pretty heavy coursework emphasis on business type subjects, such as finance, management, and accounting, because ultimately our graduates and And the folks that study this field want to take this to the business settings. So you will see that if you take a look at our courses that are required for our degree programs, that feature of our curriculum is pretty apparent. So what can you do with a degree in CIS? The number of job titles that people have after they get this degree and go into the workforce are pretty varied. So one example is on the top, a software developer, software engineer, where the main sort of job description is to design and write software for business applications. Okay, and they will be sort of the main go-to person for maintaining the existing infrastructure for an organization. But that's only one of many job positions. So another one that's quite popular is data analyst, where the graduate performs data analysis to help managers make decisions. So that's pretty broad. So what we mean by data analysis is using computer sort of technologies to scrape data from different websites, or when you have a big data that is perhaps too big to analyze using traditional tools such as Microsoft Excel or Tableau, you can use computer technology, big data technologies. Those are available in Python, such as Hadoop, sort of infrastructure to be able to still infer insights that's important for companies. Okay. Another one that I've seen a couple of students that also have taken some accounting and finance courses on the side. They have taken on the jobs of a fraudulent or forensic accounting experts, where they use these computer technologies to investigate potential financial transactions. So with the advent of these technologies, the forensic accountants are no longer limited to paper and pencil sort of approach. They can use machine learning methods, algorithms to find signals where there might be a potential fraud. And then they investigate by zeroing in on sort of where to take the investigation further. The next one is designing and implementing websites for businesses. So this is what web programmers, web developers do. And they will be doing this for multiple businesses, sort of as a consultant, and then as an ongoing basis, sort of a partner, to allow companies to extend their reach beyond their geographical location. So one of the graduates of the CIS program is involved in working with Italian fashion boutiques. So if you have ever traveled to Italy or Paris, you will have noticed that there are many, many boutiques that sell local high quality products, but because of the lack of access to people with technical sort of mindset, and that's also in that business setting, there is a huge demand for web developers to allow those sorts of companies that are operating primarily in local markets to access the global market through e-commerce. So this sort of a program is well suited to capitalize on those opportunities. And the next one here is computer networks management. So this is typically what system administrators do, is they make sure that the network within an organization is working properly, that the security threats are being fended off, and that the computer network systems have the latest sort of technology that's proven to be effective to make sure that the users are effective in their work. And probably the most important is to be able to establish your reputation as the subject matter expert when it comes to anything technology. So this program is broad enough so that you can sort of lay that foundation so that you can relate to a very, a variety of settings and be able to figure out how to best make use of technology to solve an issue that may come up in those contexts. So obviously our degree is a 2-year program, associate's program, but there are many opportunities that are available to graduates of our program. So one of them is a bachelor's program, obviously. And senior colleges within CUNY and also in the area have Programs that are similar to CIS, they may call them by different names, such as information technology or business technology, data science, computer science. But then, the students have done quite well in transferring to these programs and sort of continuing on their education to further their career opportunities and prospects. And others have gone on to job force right away with the associate's degree. So typically starting out as a junior software developer or computer support technician, those sorts of roles, and then sort of climbing the ladder through that track. We have a cooperative work experience course where students can actually work alongside an experienced manager in a real world, corporation setting, so that while they're completing their studies, they can gain this valuable professional experience. As far as the entry-level jobs, we went through many of these, but these are sort of the key job titles that you could easily read more about if you go to websites like Indeed.com or LinkedIn. You can try searching under these titles, and it'll give you not only the jobs that are available in the area, but also resumes of people that have these titles. And you'll see that many of them have gone through these similar types of tracks, such as CIS, business technology, and so on. When I looked at the average starting salary information, I used the pay scale, but there's Glassdoor, and of course you can look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. There are many sources where you can get this data, but it appears to be that people with less than 1 year of experience working in software or technology field, the entry-level salary appears to be around $53,000, and then higher for system administrators and similarly for web developers. But obviously this is it depends on the location of the job, the employer firm. So typically the bigger the firm, the higher the starting salary. But what everybody should really care about is not the starting salary, but the growth prospects for that position. So you want to be in a job where there's a lot of learning, right? Because technology evolves. And when I look back to 10 years ago or 20 years ago when I first started learning C++, Python really wasn't that well known. But now it is one of top 2 languages. So we offer Python. There was a question about that in the chat line. But also another popular language, especially for online data analysis, is R, as in English letter R. And so we offer those 2, in addition to Java, JavaScript, HTML for web programming, which is a required course in our curriculum. And C++ for object-oriented programming. But the key thing is to always continuously learn. And rather than trying to target a particular job opportunity that's available currently, because those things change on a daily basis, you want to position yourself by laying a strong foundation so that you can always continuously improve your resume by learning a new language, expanding your portfolio of projects you can showcase to employers. And to do that well, you need a strong technical and business foundation. So you need some good courses in math, some broad coverage of science courses, and some business foundations. So considering that, I think we have a good curriculum for you guys to consider. Okay, so that takes me to the end of the presentation, and I'm happy to take questions or hear comments.
Great, thank you so much, Professor. I want to just share a little bit about the admissions process. We've already gotten some questions in the chat about that, so I want to make sure that we have that covered. I hope that those of you that haven't already started your application are ready to apply now. So I definitely want to share those steps with you, and those that have been accepted and are eager to register, I want to make sure that you know what you need to do as well. So for those students that are looking to apply, it's a very, very easy process. You just need to start your application online through the CUNY application. You can apply to up to 6 different colleges on this one application. So if you're undecided at this point, it doesn't hurt to add BCC to your application. But if you only want to apply to BCC, you can do that as well. There is an application fee for freshman students. It's $65. And for transfer students, those are students that have attended a college previously, it is $70. If you're a New York City DOE high school graduate, you'll get an application fee waiver from your guidance counselor. If you do need a fee waiver for any other reason, you can contact CUNY Central and they can issue a fee waiver for you. You just have to explain kind of the circumstance and why you would need one, and we'll make sure to put the CUNY email address in the chat. This way you have that contact if you need it. Once you've applied, then you want to make sure you're submitting your official documents as quickly as possible. If you're choosing to apply to multiple CUNY colleges, you'll want to utilize the CUNY Application Processing Center and submit your official documents there. And your official documents are going to include your high school transcript, and if you've attended college, a college transcript, or if you've gotten a high school equivalency, you'll need to send that as well. If you're only applying to BCC, or if BCC is your top choice, we definitely encourage you to submit these documents directly to us, to our admission email, which is listed here for you, and we'll put that in the chat as well. It's just admission@bcc.cuny.edu. This will help us to review your application much more quickly than if it was sent to the CUNY's processing center. That can take a little bit more time, but we can review your application within a day or two. Once you've applied, you want to make sure that you're staying on top of things so you can stay in touch with us and you know what's going on. So we encourage that all students check your email daily, from the application process to after you're accepted. This is our main way of communicating with you. So we're going to be emailing you with important updates, deadlines, and reminders. So make sure you're checking your email frequently. You can also track your application status online. Once you've submitted your application, you'll be prompted to create what's called your CUNY First account. This is going to allow you to kind of see everything in your CUNY account that's related to you. And you can also check here your application status if you're missing any documents, or if you've been accepted, or any other details related to your application. Once you've applied and you've been accepted, you want to start your financial aid application right away. We encourage you to submit this as soon as possible. So if you're looking to attend Bronx Community College for fall 2021, now is the time to submit your FAFSA and your CAP applications. These are your applications that can consider you for federal financial aid and New York State aid. And this is how most of our students at BCC are able to cover their tuition costs. So by filling out these applications, you're considered for grant money, which essentially is free money to you to help you pay for your college. All you need to do is commit to what FAFSA and TAP has outlined for you to do. So that's completing your courses successfully and attending as a full-time student at BCC. By filling this out, you can potentially be eligible for over $11,000 per year in total grants, and that's the Pell and TAP grant combined. And the cost of tuition at BCC is just a little over $5,000 per year. So if you do the math, you can see that if you're fully eligible for these grants, that it more than covers the cost of your tuition, and you could potentially even have left over related for other related school expenses, whether that's books, a computer or laptop, or whatever else you may need. Once you've been accepted to BCC, you're going to be notified by email. We'll send you an acceptance letter, and you'll also see the notification in your CUNY First account. You want to commit to BCC as soon as you know that you're ready to attend, because that'll trigger us to send you the next steps and to get you registered for your classes. So you can commit to BCC by clicking the I accept button in your CUNY First account, or in your email. We will send you an email and ask you if you'd like to accept through email, or you can email us directly at our iacceptbcc@bcc.cuny.edu. So there's a couple different ways. We want to make it really easy for you to tell us that you're ready to join. And you should do this as soon as you can. Once you've accepted the offer of admission, then we're going to connect with you via email and text with details on next steps. And your next step is to register for classes. And at BCC, we want to make sure that this is a personal experience for you. So you're going to have an opportunity to meet with an academic advisor, and you'll be meeting virtually via video chat. So we'll send all these invitations and instructions to you via email. And during your appointment, you're going to have the opportunity to review your major, select your course schedule for the fall semester, and discuss any questions that you might have about taking classes here at BCC. You'll also explore options to participate in new student orientation, and also find out how to claim your loaner laptop or device, which you can keep during your time as a BCC student. So I did already see a question in the chat about that. We do offer loaner laptops or devices to students. You just need to complete new student orientation, and we can help get that distributed to you through an application. So that's kind of the process in a nutshell. I will leave you with our contact information here for the Office of Admission, both our phone number and our email address, and also the contact information for the Office of Financial Aid, since I know many questions are related to financial aid. But I do want to make sure that we leave time for our questions. So at this time, I'll open it up to you, the students that are here. There were definitely a lot of great questions in the chat. I think we got those answered already. But if you haven't gotten your questions answered, feel free to use the chat now, or just go ahead and unmute yourself and we can answer your question live.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Anthony King.
Hi, Anthony.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I enjoyed the presentation, and I enjoy taking in all this wonderful information. I am looking forward to a college opportunity. However, I do have one question, because I do see that when I was trying to apply for college, that I can go for the ASAP program. Now, is this in consolidation with the program that you have for the cybersecurity?
Yeah, so ASAP is a support program, an opportunity program here at BCC. You can definitely do the ASAP program and be a cybersecurity major. That's certainly an option. So the ASAP program, it does provide all sorts of benefits to students, like free monthly Metro card, one-on-one advisement with an ASAP advisor, special course registration. They can help to cover tuition costs, and much more. And that program at BCC, we consider potentially everybody that applies to BCC to be ASAP eligible. So we're going to look at your application, your academic history, and if you're eligible for the ASAP program, your registration invitation is going to be directly with an ASAP advisor, and they're going to be the ones that help you to schedule your classes. So that's a long way of saying that there's nothing you really need to do on your end at this point to apply for ASAP. We're going to automatically put you there if you're eligible for it this first semester. If you're not eligible right away for ASAP, that doesn't mean that you won't ever be eligible for ASAP. You could potentially take courses. So one reason you might not be eligible for ASAP is if you need to take some remedial courses first before starting at BCC, before starting in your full-time courses at BCC. If that is the case, we'll make sure to get you into the courses that you need to get ASAP eligible, and then potentially by your second semester, you can be in the program. So we help to navigate that whole process for you, and we'll make sure that we set you up with the right advisor and a right advising session so you get to the right place.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Okay, great. We can't wait to have you here. Any other questions? That was a great one.
I'm Jesus, and I have a question about, do you guys have virtual classes?
We do have online classes, yes. For the fall semester, we're expecting to have a combination of fully online courses, hybrid courses that may meet sometimes in person, but also online, and then a small portion of in-person courses. So that's the expectation. Of course, you know, this past year with COVID, everything's been very much up in the air. So we have been virtual completely since last March, with the exception of a couple of lab courses. But we are planning for the fall semester to offer some more opportunities to be in person.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll just add that during your advising session, when you meet with an advisor, those are definitely good questions to ask, and to ask about what kind of online courses you're going to be enrolled on, if it's a hybrid course, if it's synchronous or asynchronous, and they're going to go over all of that with you, because some online classes meet at a specific time every week, and others you can kind of complete the work by a certain deadline or date. So your advisor will be able to go over all of that with you during your registration appointment.
Yeah, I that's what I applied with my college advisor to BCC, and she told me to talk to you guys about the virtual classes.
Yeah, so by advisor, I mean your academic advisor at BCC. So once you've been accepted to the college and you've told us you want to come, we're going to invite you to a registration appointment with the BCC academic advisor. And they're going to be the ones that help you to schedule your classes and schedule whatever, if they're virtual or online, or if you are taking any hybrid courses. But just so you know, there is likely a combination, but with a large majority of the classes being online.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great questions so far. Are there any other questions? I know I saw a lot of questions as our faculty presenters were going through their presentation. So feel free, if there's still questions for our professors, ask them now while you have them here. You do have their contact information as well, but now's a great chance to get those questions answered.
What if you don't have any more questions? Can you leave the session?
Yes, that's a good question too. So if you don't have any questions, you are free to go. It really does conclude our presentation. But if you do have questions, we are here until 5 o'clock. So we have about 5 more minutes, and feel free to stick around and ask them. But if you don't, you are free to go.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
I have a question about the computer science program.
Okay, go ahead.
And I want to know, like, for the computer science, when you get to college, how many years do you need to get into it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Like, how many years do you need, like 1 to 2 years to get into the computer science program? Because they told me that you need to get to do the basics, like social studies, math, English. You got to do all those first and then go in.
Yeah, so most of our majors here have some general education requirements. So courses that every student has to take, like English, math, history, things like that, liberal arts. But you don't need to necessarily complete a certain number of courses to be a computer science or computer information systems major. You will declare that major as soon as you get started. And you may be taking a major course right away, your first semester. But your first semesters, generally, you will take some of those courses like English and math. Those are usually introductory courses to get into some of the higher level courses, and every student needs that foundation. But there's a good chance that you'll be taking a course or two in your major as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
Thanks, you too. Other questions? I see we still have a good amount of students with us. So if you have your questions, please let us know now. We have a couple more minutes. Otherwise, thank you all for joining, and have a wonderful evening. Okay, we have a question in the chat. I think this is for the professors. Students wondering if we have any direct internships for someone who's getting into computer science.
Right. So our curriculum has a cooperative work experience course where you'll be placed into a company or an organization, and you'll be working under someone who is a supervisor in the computer science setting, computer information system setting. So people have used that to kind of to gain practical professional experience to put on their resume and kind of help them when they go into a job market.
Great, thank you. I'll also add that we do have a full career service office at BCC as well that can help students from all majors with all sorts of career search and internship search opportunities. They provide things like resume review and internship workshops and career workshops. So there are other services on campus as well. There is a campus job board for off-campus positions and other positions that are open to BCC students. So there's certainly lots of opportunities to seek out internships and also job opportunities for while you're a student and after you graduate. Okay, well, I want to thank everyone for their questions and for their time tonight. It looks like we are at 5 o'clock, so we will wrap up. Thank you so much to our professors for joining us and for sharing some very insightful information. And have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Good
Thank
night.
you, Erica.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you.